Hello, this is Margaret Fetty from the University of Sewing at the Tailored Fit, and welcome to Facebook Live. Today we have something really special for you. I don't know if you've heard, but Bernina came out with two air-threaded machines here recently. One is an Overlocker Serger. The other one is an Overlocker Serger Coverstitch combination. And last weekend we unboxed it for our radio live event with Spirit 95, and you can see those on Facebook if you want to look back on our previous post. But today we are actually going to show us using this a little bit, and we're going to talk about the features of this machine because it is very special. I have tried using some of these kind of machines in the past, and I found them very clunky to switch between your Coverstitch and your Overlocker. I have found the whole idea of threading them very confusing, and I've stayed away from them. I wouldn't mess with them because they just were so aggravating. And I tried this last night, and I was really afraid that maybe this was going to be the same kind of thing. And I thought, well, we'll find out. And I can't tell you how excited I am. I haven't been this excited about a sewing machine in a long time. This machine switches from Coverstitch to Serger in a blink of an eye, and I don't even have to get the manual out. I can't even believe it. We have a touch screen on this machine that shows you everything you're supposed to do. So you really, unless you just don't read it, you really can't make a mistake. It's so easy to use. I can't even express the shock, and I'm just so happy. And I mean, when I left here last night, all I could do was talk about this machine. So today, the star of the program is the L890. And we are going to be carrying these, and they're going to be around for a while. We want you to see what they do because they are just so special. And today I have with me one of my other employees. This is Alice. And Alice and I have kind of done, we both have been doing our technical training and training on this machine, but we never got to see it until last weekend. And all week long we were really busy, so we didn't really get a chance to even play with it. So today she and I are going to talk about this machine and some of the things. And Alice is actually in a lot of ways, a much better expert on some of the intricacies of using sergers and Coverstitch machines than I am. I've professionally used them all of my adult life, but there was a lot of things because I felt like they were too much of a hassle I just never bothered with. Well, it's not going to be a bother with this machine. It comes with 22 different stitches, and I think I'm going to be able to use them all without any problem. So Alice, why don't you, you decided to buy one of these without even trying it.
Without even seeing it.
No, yes, we didn't see it or try it. So you thought about buying it. So why don't you tell our listeners what it is about this machine that maybe you were excited about as someone who knew something about these machines?
Way back about 30 years ago, I started using sergers, and when I got my first serger, I was terrified of it. It sat there for 6 months and I refused to touch it. Then I went to a week-long Palmer and Plesch training course, and it just blew my mind, opened my eyes to serging, and that's where I came into the world with the Coverstitch, with the chain stitch, and saw the nifty things that it can do and all the different threads you can do, the utility things as well as the decorative things. What excited me about this was the on-screen program that told you this is how you cover your looper, this is where you set this, and they've taken a lot of the ornery things out of it. Hassles of
they
doing
really
it.
have.
It's
I mean,
1 foot.
I used to have to get the manual out for every single different stitch so that I could remember how to set up the machine. Well, last night I have never done a chain stitch before, ever. Never did a chain stitch. I knew that the machines could do them, but I've never done one. I set this up last night to do a chain stitch. That was the first thing I did. And I had it set up and sewing in about less than 5 minutes.
That's awesome. That's
I mean, I
truly
couldn't
unique.
believe it. And so those people who own Bernina's, you should recognize this screen. This is a home screen that is very similar to our domestic machines. They have a settings mode. There's the manual in it. There is the fashion consultant and the eco mode. And that's so that you can turn off the machine without changing everything. You just put it in kind of a sleep mode. So they have guided mode and expert mode. Well, I had it on guided mode because I told you I'd never done this before. So I hit the guided mode, and right there it comes up with 3 different folders: overlocking stitching, cover stitching, and combination. So what I hit was this, which was the cover stitch mode, because there's my chain stitch in it. And see, there's 5 different cover stitches you can do. So we hit this, and then if you watch, it tells you to lift up the presser foot, which is up right now. And then it tells us there's no unthreading needed because it knows I don't have anything threaded right now. The machine's actually set up for a cover stitch, but I wanted you to see how these screens go through, and it tells you which foot to put on. If you want to adjust your presser foot pressure, that's always a tongue twister. Then it tells you which needle you want put in. And by the way, if you're not sure how to do something, it's got an animation that actually shows you how you're going to change needles and what to do. And so it shows you exactly where to do it, goes through the whole animation, and then it just loops until you X out of the program. Look at that. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but that foot down here, it just moves to the side to get it out of the way when you want to put your needles in and out. I couldn't believe that. I thought that was one of the most unique features I've ever seen.
It is.
So we're going to close out of that animation. It goes through. It shows you how to adjust cutting width. There's an animation for each one of these. It shows you the deactivation of the knife. Taking the knives away oftentimes seemed like to me such a hassle, because the placement of them, you had to go inside the machine a lot of times to do that. On the Bernina, it's just over here to the side. It lifts the knife blade up and it puts it down with just a flip of a little switch down here, and it's on the outside of the machine so you're not struggling to find it. And then it tells you how to, there's a special cover for this piece right here switches out whether you're doing cover stitch or you're doing the overlocker stitch. This is for overlocking, and this is for your cover stitch. And I mean, they're switching it out right now. Look at this, how simple this is. And I was like, really? It's this simple? That's all I had to do to switch them. So we're going to switch back to that because I really do want to show you this chain stitch. You know, a lot of people don't think they need a serger. They don't think they need a cover stitch machine. They don't think they need a serger because they say, I don't do clothes. Well, I'll tell you what, this machine right here, I was thinking about this last night, and you can do an entire garment or a bag or a decorative item all just with this machine.
Doll clothes and Halloween costumes.
There you go. Those are all things that you can do. And once you've gone through all the different descriptions of how to set the machine up, then the one thing I didn't know is that when you're doing a chain stitch, you want to chain off much like you do for serging. So what you can do now is, this can be your seam, but this can also be for basting. So maybe you haven't made clothes in a while. And what I was thinking is that one of the reasons we don't like to make clothes, there's 2 reasons I think that most people don't. One is fitting, and the other one is because if you make a mistake, it's such a big deal to take the seams out. Well, this chain stitch you can go down here and it makes your seam.
I'm impressed how quiet this is.
It is so quiet. And then we're just chaining off. And there is a little knife blade right there. It's out of my way. We've got that seam done. Now, what if I decide, oh, this is curved, it's crooked, I made a mistake. What happens then? Well, I've got a little pair of scissors here, and I actually have to use my glasses for this. But this is like, if you've ever done crochet work, this is like a crochet stitch. And so as long as you can break that stitch and you basically unloop one stitch, look at that.
I hadn't even thought of basting. That is going to revolutionize a lot of things.
Well, I mean, every time we use a new pattern,
oh yeah,
I'm always scared that it's not going to fit me anymore. You know, because everybody seems to use different measurements and things. And so what I was thinking is that, you know, if I'm trying out a brand new pattern, I want to be able to baste that together first, because a lot of times they don't get the shoulders right for me. And so if I can just baste it, then I can fix it really easily. So that chain stitch is really wonderful and unique. And I told you how you chain off. Well, look at this chain I made. And this is something that you could use for belt loops. You could use it for connectors on layers of skirts and things like that. And it's actually so pretty.
A little chain for that loop you have for the button on the back of your chair.
There you go. The tops that have the little button on them, that kind of thing. I just thought that was really pretty fun. So, what kind of things do you like to do with your, I mean, we've got cover stitching. If people do not know what cover stitching is, this is cover stitching right here. You see this on a lot of sweatshirts. I made this last night. I just put this together real fast. The stitching looks like two sets of straight stitch, but on the back it looks like this.
And you see that on ready to wear
everywhere.
On the performance athletic wear.
Right. And this, I never would have dreamed to do something like this before, but it was so easy. And so I know you brought samples today, and we were talking about some of the things that you wanted to learn about this machine. So we need to show our listeners some of the things that are available on this that we're really just going to make life easy.
Well, I sew on denim. I sew on cottons. You know, this is a really ravelly one. I sew on fleece. I sew on home deck. You can see how ravelly that is. I don't want to make something and have it
all the threads
fall apart.
Well, and I mean,
regular cottons.
I mean, a lot of people, they'll bring in
of course, knits.
To our alteration business, what they'll do is they'll bring something in and it's shredding.
Yes.
Because they didn't finish the insides of it properly.
We mend that all the time. So I wanted to know, okay, I'm doing a straight serging stitch on this. Is there something to, you know, as I go to different fabrics, I don't have to change my length or my width, but maybe you need that micro control. We've heard it's micro control, and that is just...
On this one, it is a matter of changing, well, let's look. Let's see.
Tells us what your needle is. Remember, we haven't played with this.
No, so we're trying to find these things just like you would. So I'm going to do one quick thing here to look and make sure. Ah, there it is. It's right there.
Oh, look at that.
So a lot of times when you're doing overlocking, the loops set off of the fabric, and you have a problem getting them to snug up to the fabric. Well, this control will take care of that.
That's going to be
And
amazing.
so for the quilters out there, what they might want to use a machine like this for is they may want to go ahead and finish the edges of their fabric before they go to wash it. The other thing that they might want to do with this is they might want to go ahead and, you know, most quilters I know, they don't just make quilts.
Right.
They make bags. They make, one of the things I was thinking is how cool would it be to take your fabric and you could literally fold it in half. You could do the seaming with the chain stitch right here, or just use the overlocker with a safety stitch and turn that inside out. Turn this down on the outside edge and use that cover stitch function to finish that off. Put a drawstring in it,
and you're done.
And you have a little bag that you can make for gift bags, things like that. I know that each year I tend to make bags for my presents.
Right.
I have so much fabric, probably way more than I need. And so instead of wrapping my presents with paper that just gets thrown away, I make bags for my family members who I'm giving presents to. And, you know, especially for odd-shaped things,
Exactly.
if you're giving a stuffed animal to somebody, you can never find any kind of bag that really fits it. But you know what works really great is making a fabric bag.
Yes.
And so I think what we should do is, before we get too much further down the road here, in the next couple of weeks, let's make a video on all kinds of bags that people could make.
I like that.
So that they can see how they can use their serger or their cover stitch machine. And we'll show you how you can make some really fast bags that would be perfect for giving gifts to. So, do you want to try switching it to the overlocker?
I will do that. I had a thought too, Margaret. Why don't we ask our audience, do you have any ideas of things you would like to see us make on this? Email us, make comments right here.
Yeah.
Respond right now. Do you want us to show you how to make a bag, or make a sweatshirt, or make a t-shirt, or finish edges? Or is there a little project that you
cardigan, maybe?
Knit cardigan? You tell us what you want to see this machine do, and I'll gladly accept the challenge. So, okay, for making this into an overlocker, I'm going to go back to the home screen, and
you need to, no, you were right, but go ahead to here.
Guided mode.
Then go to the stitching.
Stitches.
It's just like our regular machines in that it's got a menu over here on the side. There's stitches, favorites. This is the hand-guided mode, basically, just to help you figure out things. And then this is talking to you about needles and which needles you're going to use. So if we go out of that and into this menu.
It does come with a little stylus. This thing comes with so many amazing tools. It comes with oil. It comes with the spool caps. It comes with thread nets. 2 boxes worth of stuff.
And you're going to need that other foot over there.
I am.
You're going to need that other foot. It's going to...
It comes with a stylus if you want to use it.
But that's the overlocker foot. And I'll show you... I peeked ahead and saw how they were going to do it. So we're going to go... Which one are you going to pick?
We'll
number
just
one?
do number one, since we have that. So I have to lift the foot. I have to unthread the following paths. I need a pair of scissors. Oh, they're right there.
Okay.
Okay. And...
Cut it at the needle.
Yes.
And then cut it up here. And then
we
pull it through. Yeah.
That's good machine care right there. And we don't have to do that one, do we? No.
Unthread the...
Following thread paths. We don't even have that one threaded.
Well, that's the chain looper, and yes, it is.
Oh, chain looper. Okay.
Yeah, so what we want to do is cut it right here.
And it's this thread because I'm pulling it. So I'm going to pull it.
There. And now it's all unthreaded.
Very easy. And attach the presser foot. It's just like our other Bernina feet. They're snap-on feet.
Our other covers, our other...
I forgot this moves out.
Yeah, the other sergers we have are very similar. Now, I found that I had to lift this up just a tiny bit to get that on there.
Oh, okay.
That wire has to be lifted up just a little bit to get it in the right spot.
That's just a matter of getting used to it. Come on.
There you go.
Done. Ready to go. And
We don't need to probably do
the
that.
presser foot. This has 3 for the cover stitch and chain stitch functions, and then we have 2 over here for our left needle and our right needle. and I should have left this threaded when I unthread a needle. Margaret has a little tool so that doesn't happen.
I was trying to help.
I know.
I wasn't fast enough. Oh, well, no, you need these two. You need that
this.
needle. Yeah.
And this is the nifty little needle holder. See how we put that in there?
That's just so it doesn't fall in the machine here.
Just like
that's
I did
kind of a pain in the neck when it does that. And
I always leave them threaded.
oh, so it doesn't fall in. You've got to put the back toward the flat edge towards the back. There you go.
I got to see where I'm going for the first. This is the first time I've even touched it.
I think it's a little forward. There you go. And you always want to make sure those are put all the way up in the top. Now, this machine is interesting in that you can use both the home sewing needles for it, and you can use the preferred needle, which is a serger needle. And we're going to carry both of these so that you won't have any problems finding what you need. The idea is that you are going to be able to go ahead and you're going to be able to use either one of them, but sometimes if you run into trouble with the home needles, you are going to want to be able to go ahead and try these serger needles. That's what's going to come with the machine. And like I said, we're going to carry these so that we have the right needles for you.
We have our needles there. Activate the knife, and that was just a matter of popping that up. Adjust our cutting width. Here's our width dial down here. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
It's got a free arm. It's got a free arm. I don't know what they could have made easier on this.
Now you can get that cuff. She made that sweatshirt cuff. Now you can get that in there. That's amazing.
Okay, so it wants us to activate our upper looper. Now that is, I will tell you, yeah, there you go. Okay, so we have to activate our upper looper, which is this guy right here. Remember we deactivated that. So right here, what it's going to tell us, it's going to show, first thing we need to do is change this. And then it wants us to press on the presser, or the foot control. It's a very slow, it does it slowly so that you don't get surprised by it. And then this little button, that's all you do to, then the converter stays attached to the upper looper.
Which is really cool.
Well, and we don't lose it that way.
Exactly.
So we've done that. Now, so I think we're ready on that part. And
Did
then
we have to turn that back?
I don't think so. I didn't see it telling us to do that. We could go back but I didn't see that at the end. Did you?
That's the knife. I did not see that at the end.
And I hit the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Okay, I thought it was this one that I hit. But
nope.
What am I doing wrong?
Oh, that one and that.
That, okay.
We did it. We did it. We flipped the top off.
That was the end.
That was the end.
So we leave it in this position. See, we're learning too, but do you see how easy this is? It's unbelievable.
Okay. Oh, and we did that part too. We did that already.
So,
set the rolled hem selection lever,
which we have already done.
And adjust the micro
and it's set at 0 right now, which is what we want.
I'm working from the side, so I can't quite thread the following paths. So what have we got here? We're going to do yellow, green, blue, red, just like other sergers that are color-coded.
But it's referring to needles and loopers. And it doesn't matter what order you do this in because it's got one path threading. So you could do your needles right now, or you could do your loopers, or you could do one needle and one looper. It doesn't matter.
That's really awesome. Other sergers, and it's easy on other sergers. We have many sergers that are awesome out here. You thread the upper looper first, the lower looper next, and then your needles. But on this one, that's even easier. Show them the air threading.
I can't wait to show them the air threading because it's so fun. Okay, so we're going to take this thread and put that in there. And see, I can adjust my tensions right here too. There's 2 ways you can adjust your tensions. Okay, so we've got this. Now, Dave, this is the we've got the lower looper we're going to do this time. And so you want to put the camera right on there because this is the coolest thing. Flat ever. Okay, we've changed this and there it is.
It's threaded.
It's threaded. I know, it's so fun. I'm going to open that foot here. We're going to put this thread underneath there we go. And then we're going to do the upper looper, which is blue today. And there. And make sure I got that in that. Yeah, those are in there good. I was worried I didn't get it in there well enough. And see, we just pull a little bit of extra thread. And then we're going to go into the foot control again. Yippee! I can't believe how fun that is. It's like I can't believe how powerful that is.
This machine actually has 2 motors on it. One is just for that air threader, so it isn't relying on the other one. And it's also a DC motor, which gives it a lot of power and precision and control. This serger was 8 years in the designing. I really appreciate that DC motor and the 2 motors on it. Also, they could not find these little tubes here to do that magic that just happened. They couldn't find one to their specifications. This goes to the Swiss quality of these machines. So they engineered their own. These are wonderful machines. Bernina makes them. No one else makes them. Bernina makes and has total control of this serger.
Okay, so I've got my...
Give you some room.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're doing it from the side.
Yeah, it's always a little challenging when you're not right up in the normal position that you're expecting to be when you thread a needle. So we'll go ahead and get that little guy in there. And get that. And then we've got this needle that we're going to do. Make sure I'm right. Yep, there we go. And there, and there. And then it's going to go on that side.
Everybody has their proper little path.
Yeah, and I just can't believe you don't have to do it in any specific order. That's shocking.
That is amazing. You got it.
Yeah, it's little. I was going to use the tweezers.
Tweezers come with it. Tweezers are our friends.
Well,
when you're doing
and I'm going to have Dave show you just in a second here what's really fun. Look, everything's on board. I have all of my tools on board. And I'm going to close this up. And I think nope, it went underneath something. You know, it's sergers, the one thing you really have to guard against is that you don't tangle up the threads. And so here, it looks like we're ready to sew.
Ready to go.
Now, and we've got the foot down.
And a test for all sergers. If you're making a stitch, you're successful. So we're good. I'm going to test this. Look at that beautiful stitch.
Oh my goodness. You didn't even adjust anything?
Nothing. That's straight out of the box.
Oh my goodness.
And that's perfect.
There is a cutoff bin here so that you're not throwing all your, yeah, here we go. So we stopped throwing all of our cutoff stuff. It can go right in there.
How do we change the length?
Okay, so if you want to change the stitch lengths, look at this right here and here.
Oh, okay.
So we click on that.
Oh.
And now you could make it smaller or larger just with a press of your finger there.
And your differential feed is also controlled there.
Yep.
How wonderful is that? Oh, I like it. I can't wait.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
I haven't been this excited about a machine in a long time. I just haven't. It's
haven't
so
either.
much fun.
This is the first time I've touched it. I bought one, sight unseen. So this is very unusual, but I'm excited. This is great.
It's going to be really wonderful.
You guys are going to have to give us suggestions. We're going to make stuff, and we're going to show it
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
We're going to show some of the things.
Yeah.
Give us suggestions, and
And Dave, let's go ahead and let's finish up this show today.
We're good.
We're gonna go ahead and finish up by showing you some of our. We had a couple of items made here recently using this machine, and look at one of our employees did this kind of scallopy thing. Now this is really funny because all you do is you change the stitch length to be a little bit narrower, and you go from the rolled hem to the regular overlocker. You just switch that button back and forth, and it does it very easily. It's really fun. So, and then look at how pretty this looked. We did the same technique, and look how beautiful that is. I know, it's so fun. Oh my gosh. And this whole little thing, just so cute. Such a good job. Look at this inside. You know, people don't think about doing fun stuff with their covers or with their sergers, but this is really fun. So we've got that. And then I wanted to stop, or I shouldn't say stop. I wanted to make sure that we showed you. We carry a whole line of knits. We have, I haven't counted how many knits we have, but I think we have at least 30 or 40 different bolts of knit. And one of the brands we carry is called Stoff. And this is Stoff's brushed knits. And these particular fabrics, we've made many, many things out of the Stoff knits. And the Stoff knits are actually a material that is made in Denmark. And in these fabrics do not pelt. It's amazing. I think Alice is having a lot of fun with this. She can't do it. She's still working on that. She's having fun. So they're made in Denmark. We get them on a regular basis when they come out with new fabrics, and you can wear and wear and wear these, and they don't pill. They do not pill. And I mean, that's just such a shocking thing because we're used to very inexpensive knits, and they look like, they just don't look good usually after a few wearings. And so this isn't going to be like that, and you will not have wasted your time with it. We are going to be, we've been thinking, I've tried to come up with a different idea for us going ahead and coming up with a coupon. Did we ever figure out what we should come up with a coupon for, Alice?
We didn't.
We didn't come up with a coupon yet. And that's kind of crazy. How about this? If after seeing this, we have anyone in the audience who's seen this, we had that pre-order event, and BERNINA ended that. That ended at the middle of September. So they ended that. How about this? Anyone who comes in to test out, see a demo of this machine, how about we give them a $10 coupon towards fabric in the shop? What do you think about that? So if you come in to see a demo of the 890, or if you want to do one over Zoom because you don't feel comfortable coming in, we can do that too. We'll give you a $10 coupon towards fabric, and you can see this machine in action and decide if it's what you want. And also, if you think that you just want the overlocker and you didn't really want the cover stitch features, although I don't understand why anybody wouldn't want the cover stitch.
We'll demo the 850
we'll
as well.
We'll demo the 850
or
as
the
well. We also have 460s and 450s. You know what? Any serger, overlocker, cover stitch machine that you want to see demoed, we'll give you a $10 coupon for free fabric. How about that? You like that idea?
I do.
Okay, so all you have to do is mention you saw us on Facebook Live, and you will get that coupon. And you know what? I'll probably include it in an email tomorrow too. How about that? So everybody, this is the University of Sewing. Our website is universityofsewing.com. And this is Margaret and Alice. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had a great day. And I hope you enjoyed seeing this wonderful new fun sewing machine, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.